Hello, Principal Gilbert. I'd like to talk about makerspaces because I think that this is an environment in which our school is looking for new ways to challenge students. And I think this would be a wonderful opportunity um, to challenge our students. So let's talk about what is a makerspace and how we could use it within Illinois School. So what are makerspaces? Makerspaces are workshop-like environments where students are given a challenge and then they plan, make, and test their solutions. The goal in the end is to be fun, collaborative, hands-on, and educational. But through the process, students are learning a lot more. So I'd like you to envision if we were to make this a class space. Here's to get students started. So a fifth grade students must work in small groups to design a 1 foot long bridge that is going to stand between two tables. Students receive 100 glue sticks and glue. Students will learn in a brief mini lesson about how triangles are used in modern engineering to support weight. In the course of the lesson, students are given time to plan, create their bridge, and then finally test it out. So I would be putting on, so say, 1 pound, 2 pound, 3 pounds, and seeing how far we could go up, and to seeing how long it would take before one of them starts to crack. So once students finish this, what I would see them doing is they are going to write down their observations and record the weights. So here I have it on a bar chart for each group and what they did. Students are then going to ask to write down their observations. Where did they break? Why do you think they broke? Which design worked best? Why do you think it worked best? And through this reflection, we might start the process over again. Okay, so now you know that Team 3 had probably the most successful bridge. What do you think that they did well? And could you see using this in the future? Team 3, how might you improve your own design? And then they go back to work again. So one of the big goals of makerspaces then is that it fills an educational need. In this case, we're going to be working within the sphere of the next generation science standards while combining math, science, and engineering, something that may be isolated within particular topics, particularly when we have to accommodate for state testing. But this is for the fifth grade level. We could be doing this in first, second grade, even kindergarten, where students are starting to apply these practices of engineering, recording, observations, and testing, making and testing out their own hypotheses. I consider these soft skills, but I see them continuing throughout their education. And I think this is part of the reason why makerspaces are so important. These are not isolated. We're building a culture of learning. And here are 5 points that I think talk about what we want to see students doing. So first, a phrase they use is tinkering. Students are challenged to experiment to bring their idea to life. So this means making adjustments, doing initial testing, but trying to see what's happening as they're doing it. Planning. As students start to test and build a base of experience, what they're going to want to do is to do more and more planning in advance so that they have something that's more complex and potentially more successful. And in order to do that, they're going to be writing down, and they're also going to be communicating and collaborating with their classmates, a particularly important 21st century skill. Also, we are building within students resilience without dramatizing or bringing too much attention to failures. Road bumps are just a part of the design process, and students need to learn that if something goes wrong, fix it. And so their ability to adapt when they encounter challenges are going to pay off as they learn more and more complex things over everything within their education. Collaboration. We want students to work together. And if they're engaged and they're trying to compete potentially or just make what they envision, they're going to be developing teamwork. And last but not least, a creative mindset. So they're not just tabula rusas, blank slates, receiving knowledge and then committing it to memory. We're getting students to create to learn, applying their knowledge, making observations, and coming up with their own conclusions, and hopefully feeling more creative, more willing to take risks, and less hesitant to say, I can't learn this. Or to say, I can learn this. So what are the modifications we need for this space? A lot of questions are going to come up. We're going to try to look for a space, potentially in the library or another small classroom or storage room. The goal for me is, number one, can we accommodate students for a collaborative environment? And can we put in certain things? We want to make sure that this is integrated into our curriculum, and potentially this is an opportunity and a space for students to come in and say, all right, we learned about this within our third grade classroom, but I would really like to try to make this. And here we have the tools and the resources, similar to what museums, academic libraries, and other educational institutions have been putting into place. These are more free-form and creative spaces for students to practice and design. Here at Siwanoy, we can use it for both. And then finally, flexible for resources. A lot of high school programs, particularly places that are using things like AutoCAD, are really excited to get things like expensive 3D printers and wood laser cutters. And that might deter some people from wanting to put them within their school. Is this a worthy investment? What I would like to say is we can start off with basic arts and crafts like resources, many of which could be recycled material. And as we grow, we're adding on new tools and new things for students to be able to create more complex and more intricate designs. So with this said, I'd like to put this to your consideration, and I welcome to hear any questions or concerns as we think about the idea of a makerspace. Thank you.